Welcome back. You're still here on Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Baguio City has always been known as the summer capital of the Philippines, a beloved destination for its cool climate, rich culture, and strong community. Now, beyond its beauty, the city is now working hard to strengthen its resilience, ensuring it can adapt, recover, and thrive despite challenges like disasters, climate change, and other emergencies. In fact, Baguio is now targeting to become a, quote, resilient city by 2026, aligning with the Making Cities Resilient MCR initiative supported by the United Nations. Now, the goal is to make Baguio safer, smarter, and more sustainable for generations to come. To tell us more about this important initiative, we're joined by no less than the city's Chief Executive, Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalog. Magandang umaga po. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to Beautiful Day.
Good morning, Paolo. Good morning to our viewers. Good morning, everyone.
All right, first of all, Mayor, just how is the situation right now dito sa Baguio City, especially after Super Typhoon Uwan? And of course, just a status update on whether there are any damages, evacuations, or people actually hurt by yung Super Typhoon Uwan.
Thank you, Paolo, for asking. Right now, the weather has significantly improved. Nakakita na rin kami ng araw. Unti-unti. We got hit hard by the typhoon. It was a very strong typhoon, heavy rains, strong winds. But despite that, our damage was very minimal, surprisingly. Alam mo, we reached a total of 122 families, evacuees representing about 526 individuals. At the same time, meron kaming mga 13 houses that are damaged, 12 partially. One, basically, yung kanyang entire roof talaga blown away. Pero ito naman, all support provided to all those affected families. Ang pinakamatinding damage namin are the trees. We have 64 trees that were fallen trees or felled trees. We were forced to cut down the trees because these were hazards, leaning or kaya dead trees. No casualties, no missing, no injuries for the city of Baguio. And we are slowly recovering. In the past 2 days, talagang cleanup drive, and we're back to normal.
Well, that's good to hear, Mayor. But also people are wondering about the roads heading into Baguio. Cannon Road in particular was given a bit of importance and focus. Is everything accessible right now in terms of infrastructure going in and out of Baguio?
Yes, in fact, a day after the typhoon hit us, we were able to, open all the major thoroughfares leading and getting out of the city of Baguio. Temporarily, nag-close down lang ang Cannon dahil nga clearing operations na ginawa ng ating DPWH. But now, all roads leading to Baguio and out of Baguio, they're open.
All right, sir. One of the things that, again, very related to what we just experienced with Super Typhoon Uwan is that Baguio is aiming to be a, quote, resilient city by 2026. Kapag sinabi natin resilient city, what does that actually mean? What are the goals required to actually be reached by Baguio to be able to consider themselves resilient?
Yeah, good question. Just would like to give you a background. Sometime in 2020, Baguio City applied, that was during the pandemic, applied for a certain status and resiliency status. And we applied, there is a program by the United Nations DRR or Disaster Risk Reduction Office. And this is the MCR 2030. What do you mean by MCR? Making cities resilient by 2030. Bakit cities? Hindi municipalities. Ang study showed that people will always flock to the cities because of the opportunities. Nandun lahat economy, job opportunities, business. Basically, everything that's going on, there's so much activities in the cities, kaya talaga magmamigrate sa mga cities. But if disaster strikes or calamities, more people will be affected. At the same time, there's significant damage to property. Kaya ang priority is to make cities resilient. Throughout entire worldwide, So we applied for it. But it has to undergo a certain process. Now, the good news is an international organization, the name is ARISE, came to our rescue. Sabi niya, we're going to give you a 3-year grant. So, natuwa naman kami, no? Because this will fast track. Because our intention is not to go for 2030, but to go for 2026. Why 2026? Because looking at all these studies on climate change, it appeared that by 2028, the pattern. Because many of the countries who gave a commitment do sa COP, alam mo yung
Yes.
Conference of Parties
Yes,
dito
po.
sa climate change, ano? Di ba may COP 26, 25, mga gano'n. They were not able to deliver their commitment. Kaya nga talagang significant yung pag-rise ng water level sa sea, parang ganun na rin ang temperature. In fact, there was a study that showed that since 1919, nagkaroon ng series of every day, every year, and particularly talagang yung 10-year na increase only happened in 1 year. And that was in 2024.
Yes.
And they were hoping that there would be some sort of correction in 2025. But it did not happen because mas mataas pa yung increase noong 2025.
Yes.
Itong 2025 ngayon, itong 2025, minomonitor nila ngayon. So talagang we have to prepare for all these eventualities. Ano?
Mayor, sorry, I want to
Kaya
jump
kami,
in
we're
here.
in
Sorry.
2026.
Sorry, Mayor. Yes, I want to jump in here because yes, the
Go
goal
ahead.
is to be 2026 to make it resilient by 2026. Of course, there are check boxes that you have to fill. Just what are the gaps that need to be addressed to be considered a resilient city? What are the goals that you feel that can be done by 2026?
Okay, unang-una, you have to pass the entire process, finish all the phases. Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3. Phase 1 is yung that is the awareness. Tapos na kami dyan, raising awareness. Number 2 is analysis and implementation and planning. This is actually what is happening now. And finally, on the third phase, yun na talaga yung total implementation. But the biggest challenge is implementation. Why? Funding, because you have to build infrastructures, drainage systems, flood control projects. Although hindi kami nagkaroon ng flood control na katulad yung nakikita natin na talaga massive.
Yes.
But this is more on drainage systems because of our slopes. Kaya yun ang challenge sa amin. That's the reason why nakikita namin with the trend that we are, how we are moving forward, it appears that we might not be able to hit our objective to become a resiliency hub. But we can be a resilient, compliant city by 2026. That is the objective there.
Baguio is also known for its Smart City Command Center. When we talk about the resiliency and disaster relief efforts from Baguio City and the LGU in particular, is that one of the big factors contributing to it being resilient? And of course, you also mentioned yung mga ibang infrastructure, yung mga issues when it comes to flood control, when it comes to all of these other pieces of infrastructure that have been there even before you po. How much of that actually needs to be improved or addressed to reach yung goal po ninyo?
Okay. First of all, the smart city system is central to our goal to become a smart city and at the same time to become a resiliency hub and innovation hub.
Yeah.
So yun ang mga pan namin. And a sustainability hub. Tatlo yan no? Importante yung command center because that command center is several levels higher than a city system because it allows you to integrate all other types of systems, not only safety and security, but health, agriculture, environmental systems, educational systems, health systems, social services system.
Yeah.
Importante lahat yan because what is important in resiliency is about response and being proactive about it. No? Kaya kailangan namin talaga itong mga technology na ito.
And sir, you also attended something in South Korea recently as well, the International Disaster Resilience Leaders Forum by the United Nations. Were there any key insights that you feel could be implemented in Baguio anytime soon?
Yes, it's all about technology and it had to be human-centric. Kasi kuminsan ang ginagamit natin yung technology just for the sake of having technology. But it should be used to have a positive impact on the lives of people. And one of the main features there is artificial intelligence. How can you use artificial intelligence to make it human-centered and not to use it simply for business o kaya just simply to, promote politics. No, it's not. It's about creating a positive impact on the lives of people.
And sir, is AI already being used in terms of the recovery, in terms of technology, trying to address yung mga disasters in Baguio?
Yes, at katulad yan mga plate recognition namin, facial recognition. Dito sa ginagawa namin, we're now undergoing a 3-year program with South Korea, with Seoul, South Korea, on our AI capability, enhancing our AI capability. And the program will end this year.
Okay.
We're just waiting for Seoul, Korea to hand over yung hardware and the software to us after 3 years of capacity development.
A very interesting development, and of course to see how AI could actually help address yung mga issues natin, especially when it comes to disaster resilience.
Yes.
But Mayor, unfortunately, I cannot let you leave without addressing one of the bigger elephants in the room. Of course, you were in the news very recently because of accusation, or at least an allegation rather, that you are part of a destabilization plot with your name being actually bracketed na for confirmation. Nung nakita niyo po yung listahan na to at for confirmation pa yung pangalan niyo po, just what was the reaction, and do you feel that this came from anywhere in particular?
I completely deny it, totally deny it. That is purely a lie. Kasinungalingan talaga yan. If you look how they presented it pa nila ng for confirmation, natutuwa nga ako, alam mo, I would say na frustrate ako, na disappoint ako dun sa isang video na sinasabi dun na reliable, very reliable information, and then succeeding statements is for further verification. Sabi ko sa kanila, makikita mo talaga na it was done maliciously, it was unfair, and I believe it was really designed as part of the character demolition campaign against me and against my colleagues in the Mayor's for Good Governance. Kaya ako talaga, I immediately prepared a statement, a strongly worded statement in English and Tagalog, and it came out yesterday. So I hope that would clarify everything. Lagi ko ang sinasabi yan, and every time I have talks with young people, with students, with CSOs, with different business groups, because I'm always invited in several events, and almost 2 times, 3 times a week. And every time I deliver a talk, I always mention that I fully support social activism as long as it is done within the confines of the law. Very clear yan. I've been through that. In 2006, nakulong ako because of itong charges.
Sorry, Mayor, we are now experiencing difficulty with our connection at the meantime, but of course...
I'm done, but insofar as I'm intriga yan. No.
Sorry, Mayor, you did cut off just a bit there just now, but I believe we can all see your statement online as well. So we would like to refer people to that with regard to this matter, and of course your statement with regard to it. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Mayor Benji Magalong, especially for the updates on Baguio City, and of course the update on the continuing issues as well. Maraming salamat po, and mabuhay po kayo.
Maraming salamat, Paolo. Thank you.